an 80-mile range. So you can see from that there's quite a few journeys you can make before you need to charge up. And especially if you can go downhill more often, you can go up. So then we need to think about the dwell time. The dwell time being, how long do we want to be in a location? And that's whether that's us going somewhere, or from the council's point of view and a community's point of view, how long we want you to stay there. And we'll come back to that in a minute when we talk about the technology. But it's important to think about dwell time, because it makes an important discussion point when setting up the infrastructure. And then there's use profile. So I've done a lot of work in our consultancy on modelling of use and where we do in relation to how you integrate it with renewable energy and district heating as well, and the combined heat and power. So whether you're talking about on-street parking, charging, or off-street charging, or forecourts or multi-storey car parks, along with a number of other places, we need to consider a number of different issues with it. Are they going to be available easily? If it's on-street parking, is it a one-way street? We then have to think about the technology, and we'll come on to that as well. So there are lots of things to think about when we establish a good quality infrastructure. And it was mentioned earlier that Wicker have put in 88 rapid chargers in West Yorkshire, and they have. Some of them would really be nice to be connected up to the grid at the moment in Kirklees, because we have at least 2 that I know of that aren't. So there are issues that we need to deal with. If it's a multi-storey car park, when is it going to be open? When is it going to be closed? Is that the same time as you're going to want to use the vehicles? How long do you want to be charging up for? And then there's the actual human behaviour, which is the other part of this. And especially for on-street parking, I keep on getting asked, well, how are we going to deal with all the people who don't have off-street parking? And we're going to have charging posts all the way along the street. Well, not necessarily. It doesn't have to be like that. You have the grid serves putting in the equivalent to a petrol station, but an electric charging station. We need hub charging, rapid charging, and also other versions of charging, so slower and fast charging and ultra fast charging as well. But we need a combination of all of them. And the important thing on that is that someone, if they go to the cinema, is not going to move away from that charge point if they've charged up after an hour because it's run out. It's charged up if they're in the middle of cinema. I went to the bank the other day and I needed to do something fairly technical with the bank. I put the car on charge, and my thought was, how long is it going to take in the bank, and am I going to get back to the car in time? Now, I'm fairly keyed up on what's going on, but if you don't get over those issues, and you don't provide the right infrastructure for the right people in the right places, then you have a problem. So human behaviour, I think, is a very critical part of this discussion point. So let's move on to the technology and the infrastructure. There's a number of different charge point requirements. There's different types of chargers. We've mentioned slow, fast, rapid, ultra rapid. And basically, this is about how fast you can charge the battery. Now, they're all valid in different circumstances. And if you're at home, then a slow charger is perfectly fine for most people to charge up overnight and be ready for the following day. A fast charger might be good if you're going to go in and sit for 3 or 4 hours in a workplace, or even half a day in a workplace. So you get that ability to charge up. You don't need a rapid charger. And even if you have a rapid charger or even an ultra rapid charger, it might not actually help with the technology you've got on the car, because without going to technicalities of it, there are different issues that go with the cars. So an ultra rapid charger, if we put them all in Kirklees, would be absolutely no good to John and I with our car, because our car charges at 50 kilowatts maximum. So putting in a rapid charger at 150 kilowatts or even more doesn't actually benefit us for anything. So we have to think about what we're going to put in, where we're going to put it, and why. And back to that dwell time, we need to think as a town and as a district, if we put in a charger, how long do we want people to be staying and going to the shops or going to the cafes and using the facilities we have? So it's important that we get a balance right with the charge systems. So for me, this is all about getting quality products in place. And we've talked just now about the West Yorkshire Combined Authority ones. I don't think we're getting the best quality of products into the system. They're not the most reliable, and we are having problems. They need to be able to be paid as you go. So you don't have to think about which app have I got to work today? Is it going to work? Have I got a web connection at the time? So there are lots of different issues that we need to consider when doing this. And a balanced approach and looking at it from a strategic angle and talking about all the other things is very important. So just to finish off, I do see that we have a fantastic opportunity in Kirklees. The vision that we could set ourselves could create jobs and new skill sets. It could support the young people. It will provide, a way of using our waste to energy that comes off that to charge our electric vehicles. We could generate more green electricity in the district and use it for these vehicles. So I'll stop there because I think that's probably enough for the moment, but I'll look forward to questions. Thank you.